and welcome to this video from CryptoML. I will talk you through staking Ethereum with your ledger right on the Ledger Live application. It's really nice to do this because you can keep all of your assets in one place and avoid going to a bunch of separate services to interact with all your coins. If you've staked your other coins with Ledger, you know just how easy it is. You hit a stake button and you're off. But with Ethereum, things are quite a bit different. We'll cover those differences here in this video before showing you how to stake. And it's something really critical and important. If you do stake, your ETH will be swapped for staked ETH, which is the stETH token. Now, when you go to unstake with other coins, there's usually a short waiting period. Then you get those same coins back just the way they were before. But to unstake with ETH, you'll need to use an exchange to convert that stETH token back to ETH. So if that makes you uncomfortable at all, you may not want to proceed. But I will say there are many great reasons to stake your Ethereum. We'll cover those along with performing some due diligence on the entire approach that Ledger Live takes. All right, if that all sounds good, let's hop on in. Now that Ethereum has moved to proof of stake, you can stake Ethereum to earn interest and add to the security of the network. And to be clear, in order to do this, you don't need specialized knowledge and you don't need that minimum balance of 32 ETH or a minimum hold time. All you need is a ledger and some Ethereum. So let's talk about why you should stake. First off, you should never rely on interest alone. That's one of the key pillars of our crypto investing 101 approach. So as we come down here, we have a variety of different concepts that should be considered in order. And right here we have, don't rely on appreciation alone, along with this great quote from Warren Buffett there. So basically what this means, if you were to just hold, we can look at this example of 10% interest on one Bitcoin. If you were able to earn that, your one Bitcoin over time, instead of if you didn't earn any interest staying one Bitcoin forever, if it did have 10% interest, you get that magic of compounding interest and it grows to now at year 20, you have 16 Bitcoin plus, multiply that times whatever their value is out 20 years in the future, which is pretty incredible. So let me hop over to our staking calculator here, and this will help us figure out how much we can actually earn with Ethereum staking. So have these values put in here. Let's assume we have a starting balance of 10 Ethereum. And the staking reward rate, this is currently the rate paid as if we do this through Ledger, and we'll show that in a minute. There is a 10% commission rate, which we'll talk about, so that just comes out of the reward itself. But now we can look at this table as we adjust these numbers, and what you'll see is, year one, you get a little more Ethereum, but as time goes on, you get to year 20, now you have 27 Ethereum, versus if you didn't stake, you'd just be sitting with that 10 Ethereum, all things considered. So it's really powerful, and time always goes much faster than you expect. If you take this all the way out to year 30, just that initial 10 Ethereum balance becomes almost 45 by that time. So that's really an incredible power right there. All right, now let's take a look at your staking options. So the official Ethereum website actually has really good information on your staking options. They cover 4 different options here, so I'll scroll down and cover these. The first two, solo home staking and staking as a service, you'll notice have pretty stiff requirements. So these both require 32 Ethereum, so that's when you hear about staking in Ethereum, that's where this comes from. They also basically require that you know how to run your own staking system. So this is really like enterprise grade IT dedication that you need. So really sophisticated knowledge and a high balance to do either of these. If we scroll down to options 3 and 4, let me go to 4. So centralized exchange, what this means is you could go to like Binance.com and stake your Ethereum on Binance, which may be okay in its own right, and that's good for some people. But for people who want to manage their own keys, they want to use that ledger, that leaves us with this option 3, which is pooled staking. All right, so let me pull Ledger Live back in here. When you stake through Ledger, it's going to connect you with the service called Lido, which is one of these staking pools. So let me flip over to Lido. This is Lido here for you to take a look at, and you can see, how much is staked. There's some good information on here. Ethereum is the top one that they're listing. So, Ledger is a very trusted name in the crypto space. So the fact that they've partnered with Lido is a good sign, but you don't want to blindly trust third parties. with anything in the blockchain space. So we do want to do some due diligence here. And with Lido, there's quite a lot to like. They are by far the biggest pool available for Ethereum. They are open source and have active bug bounties. There are no minimums on how much you can stake. It is decentralized. This is a decentralized organization, and your entire interaction is governed by smart contracts. If you want to find out more about the stETH token, you can come to their page on Lido and do some additional research. The key thing is this should be issued one-to-one for Ethereum, so it should always be on that one-to-one mapping. That's a critical component of it, and you can read up on the mechanics of it, how this works, but this is all smart contract based. Now, on top of all this, another positive is Lido is publicly audited, so you can come out to GitHub and you can see a history of the audits that have occurred, whether these be code audits, are things working as expected. All of that's covered here, and you're welcome to dig in to this bit as well. So next we'll have the fee. So the fee charged by Lido is 10%, and that is split. So think of them more as a platform where these operators or these actual staking providers can come, and then consumers wanting to stake, everybody meets in the middle on that Lido platform. And this fee gets split between the node operators and Lido itself. Now, there are a lot of value-add services they're giving you, because if you come back to the Ethereum, you don't have to worry about all of this. So paying that 10% fee is definitely on market, and I think it's very reasonable. And that fee only comes out of the reward. So imagine if you were to get a 1 Ethereum reward, what would happen is they would credit 0.9 to you and keep 0.1 for themselves. Okay, on the downside, there are some things to consider with Lido. One is they're by far the most dominant player here, and so there are some concerns about centralization with them, and they would become, a controlling factor, which ultimately reduces the security of Ethereum. Now, proponents of Lido would say the opposite is true. They're acting as a marketplace, bringing more participants in and providing this platform that actually helps decentralize and bring smaller people into the mix. So that sort of counters that, but you can read through and decide on your own there. Probably another bigger concern is, if we come back to this token, should be issued one-to-one, but the risk would be that it depegs, and we've seen that with stablecoins where they depeg from the US dollar. This is a very controlled environment, so it should be less likely to see that depeg happen. However, it has happened twice in pretty recent history, so once in June and once in September of 2022. So you can read up a little on what happened and some of the, extreme, you could say, circumstances that caused this. And here's the second one. So it gets fairly technical as to what happened, but you can take a look. If you look at, this is the stETH chart, you should see it should stay right at 1-to-1, but this was that major dip in June, and then also the dip in September, which is not a good sign. This is something that needs to be monitored for sure, and I think there's a lot of focus and attention on how this can be controlled and how the liquidity can be maintained going forward. Okay, and then I would say last up, if you head out to the FAQs on Lido, there are some really good risks listed out here that you can look at, and these are covers things you'll face with pooled staking anywhere, but also some specific things to Lido. So I think they've done a pretty balanced job of providing information here. All right, if you're comfortable with this due diligence and you're ready to move forward, let's stake. So what you're looking at here is my Ledger Live. I will go ahead and increase this, and this Ethereum one is an account created just for this demonstration. So this is effectively a test account and moved in some Ethereum a little bit earlier. So we'll go ahead and hop up and hit this stake button to get started. Now, if you don't see that stake button, it's possible you're at the higher level and you need to drill down into your account, like I'm in this Ethereum one account of mine. So if you don't see that, just make sure you're in the right spot within Ledger Live. So, all right, here we go. Go ahead and stake, and immediately you'll see the name Lido, which is that Lido integration. That's why we did our due diligence. You start seeing another label. You do need to question who is this third party that's involved. So, okay, let me come on down here, and you see the APRs. This is the 5.2% that it's currently paying. you see this reward fee, which is a little confusing because it says reward. That's actually the commission, which we inputted into the calculator. So you can go ahead and hit this max button, but I'm going to reduce my amount here a little bit. Let's do that much. Okay, so now I should be able to pay a few gas fees down the road, but I'm going to be staking quite a bit of the amount I have here. So let me go ahead and hit submit. Okay, and then you have the transaction details about what's about to happen. Okay, and if you have not ever done this before, the very first time you should do a small transaction. That's always the case. So I'm going to come over to my ledger. We'll go ahead and approve that. You should always do a small transaction, make sure it goes through as expected. Then after that, you can do the full amount you want to stake, or even do it in waves just to make sure nothing goes wrong. Okay. So we're gonna open up the Lido app here. All this needs to be approved. The nice thing about having a hardware wallet. Okay. Reading the information, reviewing the transaction, stake, the amount, fees, accept and send. And that's it, we're off. Now, of course, we could go view this transaction, and it's gonna take a little while to go through. This is Ethereum hard at work. So we'll let this go for a few seconds. Hey, there we go. Okay. So the operation was successful. Of course, we can go view this if we want, but I am just going to go ahead and close it. All right, so now I'm going to come over to the accounts here. We'll go take a look at our Ethereum. As we come down, we can see we have the Lido staked Ethereum here and the amount it's staked for. So that confirms our transaction went through. All right, that's how to stake your Ethereum on your ledger. So if you have any questions, hit us up in the comments below. Also link the article, which walks through step by step all of these points that you can go view on our website. Thank you very much for watching.